Hello, beautiful. Today we are speaking about feminine embodiment. What is a feminine embodiment session, or what happens in a feminine embodiment session? My name is Jessica Angeleri, and welcome to my channel where we speak about all things related to feminine embodiment, sensuality, sexuality, and love. And I really wanted to dive into this really important topic. I feel like it is floating around out there. I have done a couple of episodes about embodiment and what embodiment is, but today I wanted to speak about what does a feminine embodiment session look like. And when you step into a feminine embodiment session, we come together in this beautiful sacred temple, in this container that we co-create together. And I guide you into becoming your own healer and your own wise woman. And I know if you are here, you have a burning desire to do this work. And it means that you are ready for something deep. You have a burning desire for aliveness, for activating your sensuality, to expand into your creative pleasure potential, which is key as a woman. If you desire to live in a way that is meaningful and that is expansive and that allows you to be magnetic to the things that are truly aligned to your heart. A lot of my work is around feminine embodiment, but over the years, what I realized was in my own journey, in own self-discovery, with the work of embodiment, it couldn't work in isolation. And I realized that this work doesn't come alone. We must work with spirit, with the divine, for success, for sensuality and spirituality. They are one, they coexist. Because for us women, our body is this conduit. It is this temple for the goddess to become alive within you. And that is the thing that I did see that was missing in embodiment spaces, was this idea of embodiment and the infusion of spirituality. They coexist. They work hand in hand, and this is the key to our own success and our own power. So when we think of embodiment, we often think that it just means, or we are told that it means that we are in the body. It is to help you to be in the body. The thing is, we are always in the body. The difference here is that we are usually not aware as the body. We are not alive with whatever is present, with the sensations in the body. This world doesn't teach us how to do that. It's no fault of our own at all. And this is why I'm here to guide you in this. Usually, we are operating from this space of the mind, and that means we tend to disregard the sensations and the messages of the body. She has so much to say to you, and she loves you so much. So our aliveness is the key to our radiance, to our power, to feeling aligned. It is key to our happiness. Now, this is not woo-woo work. Now, I know you are here, and I know you don't think that this is woo-woo work. This is beautiful work. This is holy and sacred work. It is a holy rite of passage that we as women get to initiate ourselves into, that we haven't growing up. It's forgotten about. So a lot of my work is intuitive, but it's also structured. That's important. And this is where I combine the feminine and the masculine. And what I mean by this is that we, for example, we always begin with our connection with the heart and womb, no matter what. We connect with the earth, no matter what. And this is how you know as well that we are about to dive into something really beautiful and nourishing. So in a feminine embodiment session with me, rather it being a forward energy or me giving you answers, we explore together. I come in this with an open heart and an open womb with you. We drop back into the body, we dive deep, and we explore the intuitive answers that are being given to you. And that happens when you are dropped into the body, when you descend down. And this is the work of embodiment. Now, you may have seen this word embodiment floating around, and it might be associated with doing certain moves, certain yoga moves. It's not really that. They are tools to help us become embodied. The real work happens when you are in your everyday life, really. And so, yes, there are tools that I love using, like intuitive movement, erotic movement, breath, visualization, all these different beautiful tools to help us descend down into the body. But the purpose isn't to do anything correctly or perfectly. Instead, we allow our movement, we allow our breath, we allow our body to guide us. The feminine within you loves ritual. She loves beauty. She loves moving. She loves being in this space of fluidity. She really desires to feel safe. So that is always the most important thing for me as well, is safety. When you feel safe to let go, you feel safe to surrender, you feel safe to trust as well. So there are these different modalities and tools that we can use to help you do that. The feminine within you loves feeling into this being of love, radiating out of you, which is what you have access to. But sometimes in this world that is so busy, we can forget. A lot of us are still holding on to the stories that are limiting our full potential. We may hold back due to fear, due to the doubts that continue to play out in our mind, and all of the pain that we may store in the body, especially in the womb, all of this tension that gets stored in the body. It tends to stop us from remembering that we are infinite divine beings of love that are whole. We are whole. So we can practice letting go. We can practice listening from the space of the goddess, from the space of ease, from connection. And we do this not by listening from the mind, but right here in the womb space. Whether you have a physical womb anymore or not, a lot of embodiment lies in this space, in this downward motion, and we draw in the depths of love of the heart to ensure that this work is led with pure intention. And as we connect with the lower centers of the body, we also attune to the subtle body. We attune to the soma, the body, her messages, how she's communicating with us, as I mentioned. And then in this way, we become aware as the body, as this temple, and we come into this acceptance for what is there and what is requiring our attention in that moment, which changes all the time. And this means sometimes in our sessions, we may cry, we may talk, we may laugh, we may move, dance, whatever needs to be felt. The feminine, as I'm speaking about this, I don't want you to think about gender, okay? And I've spoken about this a lot in my channel. It is the divine energy, which is inherent within us all. We all have this feminine energy within us, just like we do with the masculine. We have access to this energy. The thing is, for us women, we tend to thrive more and we feel happier in our feminine essence. The thing is, we are more well trained in masculine energy. This is what seems to be more accepted in this modern society. We are trained to make sense of things constantly, which is what the masculine loves doing. And I feel like this is where we have felt the safest as well, and what has been considered more normal. If you are more in that pushing through energy, very logical, liking to make sense of things. But the feminine is a dive into the mysteries of the unknown, into this beautiful dark portal. And that's where your womb space comes into it. She's a beautiful beholder of that. So we can't deny this beautiful aspect of ourselves. So it's important that we go into these spaces and we are held by another that you trust, to be held by someone who is going to support this kind of connection and healing, in order for you to let go of that stagnancy that we often unconsciously hold in our body and our womb. So when we let go, we can make space for our wisdom and for our power to be known to us. We also feel lighter. We feel more at peace. We feel more relaxed. We feel more on purpose as well, because we're not trying to strive to be something that is more disconnected from who we are, and playing all these games of society, all these shoulds, trying to meet all the expectations that in the end really just dries us out. It sucks all that nectar and juice out of us. And so with feminine embodiment, we come into this self-actualization, self-discovery, self-knowing. All of this is developed and practiced. But so often we don't have access to this beautiful, magnetic, juicy, radiant, soft, flowing, creative energy of the feminine. The masculine way is more normal for us, right? I used to be like this too. For example, I would work such long hours. I was working a lot. I went from one thing to the other. My days looked like working out at the gym in the morning, going to work, and then straight after that, I would even push myself to every day, every night, train in my for my Samba practice, my Samba training. When I was dancing in with my team, it was just one thing after the other. Now, that's not to say that I didn't enjoy what I was doing, but the energy was just there was just so much force behind it. I was working a lot, I was pushing through a lot. And I even thought that the more that I pushed, the better everything will be. I had discomfort really in slowing down and resting. And this was very much part of my own programming as a child. It's how I learned how to be in this world. And I feel like it's true for a lot of us. And although I was very emotional, I still am an emotional person, I really never harnessed the depths of these emotions. I am Cancer after all. My son is in Cancer. And all of these emotions, because I wasn't harnessing them in healthy ways, they were just leaking out of my body. And this just led me to feel very disempowered, kind of all over the place, really, not really knowing what I was thinking. I was feeling really hazy. And, on top of that, I'm taking the pill. I'm not anymore, but that's what you're told, to take the pill, to keep soldiering on in your days, so you can even soldier on in your menstrual cycle, in your bleeding phase. Anyway, I won't go into all of that now, but, I went into this space of controlling as well. And I would sometimes even use my feminine energy in places that weren't serving me. I was shaming myself. I was so yearning to not be soft. And because I saw that as a weakness, I even saw slowing down as a weakness. And that was really hard for me to move through that, especially as a really high achieving woman. And Well, now I know my softness and slowing down is the juice to everything that I do. And so I was living out of my own toxic cycle that continued to repeat itself. I would know how to attract men into my life. So I was very good at using my feminine power to my advantage to gain something. And it wasn't necessarily always from the goodness and for the goodness of my heart and for my highest potential. And that's because I was still using my feminine energy in ways that was still perpetuating the masculine model of what the feminine is. Basically, I was disembodied. I didn't know what I truly wanted, even though it felt like I did. And I was ignoring my body when she was feeling anxious and the messages behind that. And this anxiety, I started to identify with that as well. But all of this tension was just being built up in my body. I was making other people happy before me because that's how I knew how to receive. I was just disembodied and therefore disempowered, disconnected, dysregulated. And I don't want that for all of my other beautiful sisters. If I'm able to move through all of that and find my space of calm and peace and great love and beauty in my life, receiving what is truly meant for you, for me, then that is what I desire for you also. You are so deserving of that. And the thing is, I would have all of these uncomfortable feelings and thoughts. My gosh, the thoughts, right? Moving through my mind constantly. But I was finding ways to numb that. And I was just going through life like this. So I was very good at using my masculine energy in places to strive and to achieve. And I really did. I really did achieve high. And I was envisioning high, and I would really go for my desires and my dreams. The part that was missing, though, was the feeling of juiciness in it, of pleasure, of radiance, of magnetizing with ease, because the world tells you that we have to push really hard in order to receive. And the receiving nourishment, the receiving part felt really hard for me, even receiving love from another. At the time, I didn't know that all of this was missing, but I could feel it. I could feel something. And that's the thing, we feel something. We feel when something is a bit off. And that's the thing about this work. As you dive into embodiment and the work of somatics, and the more you go down and inward to descend, to ascend back up, the more you trust yourself, the more you stop doubting yourself. You might hear the doubt, but you don't listen to it. And the more you develop not only trust with yourself, but with the divine as well, the highest source, the goddess working with you always. You stop exerting your energy in places that aren't feeling good in your heart because you know how to listen to that. You stay in your anchor when things feel messy and chaotic. So you build that root within you. So even when things feel challenging, you don't lose yourself and you become a great emotional, intelligent, wise woman. So then you don't collapse when things feel hard and you don't shame yourself saying or calling yourself names that you're moody or crazy and laughing about it. We don't go into this feeling that we have to compete with our partner or with other women and be so aggressive as well to get what we want. We don't have to be defensive. We can actually communicate from this space of warmth and love. but assertiveness at the same time, knowing at the same time. So with this work, we practice and we devote ourselves to the feminine to move in action and move towards our purpose and goals from the space of knowing, of unstoppable power. Once you really feel it and you resource that within you and you build on this power, it happens when you connect with your heart and the knowing of who you are. Most women, when they do this work, when they do my work, they usually say, wow, I feel so released. I feel so relaxed. And that's because your feminine energy now has space to lean back. She's now feeling awake. She's feeling alive. She can breathe. She can shine, she can open like a flower. And that's the feeling I was so desiring too. I just wanted to feel that, yes, this is me. And I'm not going to apologize for this. And it doesn't have to be from the space of pushing and aggression. It's very easy for us to rely and access masculine energy to get things done, to run our businesses, our households, our families, to do all the things. And in the process, lose touch of the feminine, that cyclical, intuitive, sensual, magnetic, nourishing, receptive energy. It's very easy to forget. But with this work, we re-energize that. With devotion, we reactivate all of that. I also feel like we're moving away from just looking for a fast fix, that we just do one course or one session and then we think we're fixed and healed. I think we're moving past that. I feel that we're looking now and we're leaning into more of this long-term sustainable way of healing, of developing and connecting. And this takes devotion, showing up for the feminine, to be committed to this beautiful path, to not just do something once. Instead, we really show up for her. We honor the forever unfolding process of these beautiful divine mysteries of the feminine. So when you are in these feminine embodiment sessions, whether it's one-to-one or in my group sessions, you really allow yourself to drop into your body in such a delicious, pleasurable way. Why not? You're deserving of that. So then you become sensitive to the language, to the dialogue of your body. And here is where you activate your feminine energy. Instead of using her in disempowering ways, we can use her in powerful, empowering ways for radiance, for vitality, for attracting beauty and love into your life. And we do this through feminine embodiment, through our infusion and connection as well with the spirit, with the great goddess within you, with the great goddess that you are. And when I say it takes devotion and practice, it's because we often rely on our masculine energy so much, which is very logical, linear, forward-thinking, strategic, always thinking about fixing things, finding solutions to things. And this asks us to be in our heads a lot, to operate from that space. So we're spending a lot of time in that upper body, in that energy. And then we disconnect ourselves from our sensations, from the feelings and the wisdom of the body and the womb. So when we do devote ourselves to this beautiful transformative work of feminine embodiment, we drop into the body, we can access all that data and ancient wisdom and the knowings of the body, of the womb. And we use this wisdom and healing qualities of the womb space to also bring healing to not only our own life, but to bring love to this world. It doesn't have to be scary. This is why I'm here holding your hand, so we can explore together through this kind of activation. We dive deep first. We bring the experience that we desire to feel into our body. We go down into the body, we get real about our experiences and our emotions and our sensations in the here and now. not striving for a fix or a quick solution. The healing and the solutions take place in the in-between moments, in the awareness, in the acceptance. And as we become aware of the body and her textures and her sensations, and we become aware of our breath, and we build that relationship with our womb space and with our heart and with our yoni. This is where it has to happen for embodiment to occur. We release tension and the numbness that builds up and that gets stored in and around the pelvic floor. This is what we focus on in embodiment. So often we deny those aspects of ourselves that we tend to suppress, that we push away. We might put things away and it gets stored in the body and it gets stored in the womb space in our yoni as well. So often we're carrying a lot of things, of pain, resentment. It gets stored as tension in the body, tension in your pelvic floor, tension in your yoni, tension in your lower back. This is what keeps us stuck. So that's why if we're not tending to this constantly and being in devotion to this, clearing and connection, it can sometimes feel like we're always walking uphill and things feel like it's very difficult all the time. So in my temples, I guide you back into the body, into this place of safety. We really build that sense of safety. We connect with the womb, we connect with the heart, we connect with the yoni in non-invasive ways. But this is where we access our own deep truth, our radiance, our wisdom that is ancient. When you allow yourself to drop into your body like this, you liberate yourself. You liberate the darkness that we tend to deny and suppress, and we alchemize that into our whole experience. That's how we really start to embody the whole woman. And that is how we become more confident. And as I said, we become more liberated and magnetic. So if you do desire to feel more connected to yourself and you desire to feel more successful, more relaxed, you know you want to start standing by your own boundaries and really show up for them. If you desire to redefine your own version of what self-love is, what self-worth is, if you desire to feel just liberated and feel more magnetic and more attuned to your beautiful softness and your sensuality, if you desire to express yourself with courage and you want to stand in your own sovereign power and not apologize for your needs, and you desire to make decisions from the level of your body's wisdom and intuition, then feminine embodiment temples can definitely support you in this. All of these modalities and tools like breath, somatic practices, meditation, erotic movement, intuitive movement, womb connection, all of this can support you to untie the knots and tension that are standing between you and where you want to be, or the version of you that is already you. When we dive into this work of embodiment, it unravels all that tension, it activates your feminine energy, and it activates your magnetism and your receiving abilities. When you are in your authentic, true essence, free from the tension, free from the numbness, you start to align. You magnetize, sister. And from this point, you take inspired and empowered actions and decisions. You become the queen in your life and you really step into your own sovereignty. All of this has to happen from within, from your internal world. And I'm here to support you in this. So let me know what awoke within you with this talk today. What are you ready to awaken within you? What are you really ready to reclaim? Are you ready to access this inner aliveness and your inner fire? Are you ready to move forward from the space of knowing and wisdom and truth and really bring pleasure into your life? Are you ready to be more passionate and connected with what really lights you up? Are you ready to feel more sensual and soft and gentle with yourself? If that feels like a yes, then I invite you to jump into a free discovery call with me, or get on the waiting list for Feminine Remembrance. Come home to yourself. This is a beautiful way to be held, not only by me, but in a sisterhood container, where we really explore the depths of your queenhood, of your queendom, where we really activate our sacred sexuality, sensuality, and deep love for you and for those around you. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know what really aligned with you here. I can't wait to read your comments. And if you really liked this video, make sure to click that like. If you are not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe so you can stay updated with all of my videos and episodes. And I'm so grateful for you and your presence here. My name is Jessica Angeleri. Thank you so much, gorgeous. Mwah.